What's up, cows? It's your favorite Fox, back at it again with another React Andy. This time round, this video came up on my feed, the only streamer that cares. I'm pretty sure it's about to go into a streamer I've never heard of that tries to help chat way too much. Fun fact, as a streamer, a content creator, it's no one's job, it's not your job. It's not your job to help out your chat. It's not your job to be their therapist. Your job's to be entertaining, but if you want to help someone, go for it. But no one has to take it upon themselves to help someone else. Because more than anything, people have to help themselves. But yeah, let's just jump into it. I only know about that, though, because I saw, like, the top 2 comments. So, yeah.
You know what the most important part of any live stream is? The chat.
Yes. Yes. If you're a streamer and you don't talk to chat, just stop streaming. Just record videos. Honestly, what you're doing is a plague to the streaming society. You are presenting nothing. You are doing nothing. I despise it so much when I go into any streamer's chat and they don't check chat for like 3 or 4 minutes, even when it's dead and no one else is talking but me. Like, congratulations, you wasted my time. I'm talking to you because that's a part of the experience, man. If I want to watch a YouTube video, I'd go to YouTube and watch a YouTube video. But alright.
Every night, thousands of viewers pour into their favorite streamer's chat. Chat. Together, they decide what games get played, what videos get watched, and the streamers who keep them entertained get paid.
Nah, not me. I decide all that. My audience isn't big enough for me for them to even have any form of power over me yet.
It sounds pretty easy, right? Just give the chat what it wants.
Yeah, no, that's like the worst thing you can do. Always, like, you should do it some to like most of the time. Well, some up to like 60% of the time. But you, as a streamer, you as a content creator, what you want to do also matters. So even if chat wants you to do this really dumb, absurd challenge, if you really don't feel like doing it, don't do it. Do whatever you want to do. If you don't feel like playing Resident Evil on Berserker just for the shits and giggles, play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon instead, man. It's not really a big deal. People are going to be that butthurt about it. They can leave, like, the interaction between the streamer and chat is just them just talk about whatever is going on in the game, or, you know, reacting to whatever you are talking about while playing said game too. It is extremely depressing when I see anybody where this chat says something and then they immediately just believe what their chat's saying and then just do whatever is their chat's telling them to do too. Like, you're not even the streamer at that point. You're just a surrogate for You're just a surrogate for the people watching you.
The problem is, chat never wants just one thing. There's thousands of people all asking for something different, and no matter what you do, someone's unhappy. The biggest streamers learn to follow the majority and keep the party moving, because stopping everything for one unhappy viewer is the cardinal sin of streaming.
I mean, also, it's just kind of silly. Why would you just do something for that one specific viewer? Now, unless they're like, hey man, post your pic. Post pics of your feet. Do it for $1,000.
You don't leave 10,000 people hanging over a single name in the chat. But what happens when the needs of the one are a matter of life and death?
My girlfriend of 3 years took her own life in November of 2025. Losing my best friend and the person I love most in the world. I'm feeling like my life is no longer worth living, and I've been falling into a bad habit of drug addiction, leading me to some MDMA in December. I don't want to be here anymore.
This is Joe Bartolozzi, and he's one of the only streamers that stops everything when someone needs help.
If a chatter of mine is coming into my chat saying they're suicidal...
I mean, that's incredibly disrespectful and weird of the person to do that, but, I mean, at the same time, though, yeah, I mean, it's like a really iffy situation, because what they should do is that they should contact the streamer when they're off stream, like in DMs. But at the same time, though, if like they are gonna do something, like if they are on a cliff and they're feeling like they're gonna jump, but they don't really want to, they're willing to talk to somebody, that's like different. But, you know, you are traumatizing the person you're watching by doing that.
I am first and foremost going to read their message.
But when you do this, when you make yourself the person people turn to at their lowest, you're also now the one who has to carry the weight of it. Because now you're surrounded by darkness.
Today I decided to end everything. Got a shotgun, can't find it in me to love myself.
Now you're giving away pieces of yourself to everyone around you.
People are genuinely asking me to fix their problems. I can't.
Now it feels like the whole
Yeah. Again, changing yourself, changing how you think about things, that all starts around you. It's a simply tough position to be in, and it's also incredibly disrespectful that these people are doing that to them, but you also can't fault them because, you know, they are on that edge. There is no correct answer for how to handle these things.
world is on your shoulders.
Now I'm going, oh, if I stop posting, people are gonna start killing themselves.
That's a heavy weight to pick up, and we wanted to know why.
Who is Joe Bartolozzi, and why do you care so deeply about some of the things that you do? Which is maybe a little deep for 10:30 in the morning, but
I think there's also an extent too. Like if it's like someone that's been around for a while and they've been talking and you like know them a little bit, and then they start talking about how they're, you know, they might jump off the cliff, then yeah, it's worthy talking to them about it. It's worthy talking them down from the ledge. But if it's like someone that's constantly talking about how they're gonna do it, or someone that you just met that you don't even know, it's really weird. I knew somebody where they just constantly talk about how depressed they were, and they would just constantly kill the vibes. I wish I just banned them, because it was like a month-long thing. And I felt, oh, if I ever get rid of them, if I ban them, then, you know, what if they actually do something? Yeah, man, no. If they're constantly doing it, if they're constantly refusing to change and just constantly hoping for validation from others, they're likely never going to change. It's not worth ruining your mental health just for the sake of someone who's not changing.
No, it's all right.
Joe Bartolozzi was born on February 6th, 2002, and grew up in southern New Jersey. Joe wasn't...
Now, I think an issue with Joe over here, too, is that how the video the video's portraying it, like this guy is constantly doing this, and now he's going to be known as the guy that you talk to when you need to be talked down from the ledge. When it looks like bro's just trying to be a gaming streamer, you're putting all this pressure on just some guy that's most definitely not prepared to handle all this like trauma in the weight of trying to save someone's life.
The kid you have picked to become famous online. He was the small, quiet kid, the one getting picked last for everything.
I was kind of like the lanky kid that didn't really know how to control his body, so that's why I was picked last.
But by high school, things started turning around.
My God,
He started lifting and went from being the kid nobody picked to a legitimate athlete. So by 2019, Joe's a track athlete at a Catholic prep school in New Jersey, working part-time at a GNC, heading towards a completely normal life. And then a Chinese tech company bought a dying lip-syncing app.
TikTok is the latest app to capture the attention of teens and young adults across the world.
A Chinese company called Bytes bought the relatively dead app Musical.ly. They gutted it, rebranded it, and on August 2nd, 2018, TikTok...
You know, that reminds me, I think it was Jacob Sartorius. Remember when Jacob Sartorius... No, was it Jacob Sartorius or was it someone else? I can't remember. All I remember, there was a very specific Musical.ly of like some kid doing the Musical.ly while their grandpa was in the hospital bed behind them. And then there were so many people dunking on the kid, being like, dude, hang out with your grandpa who's dying. Stop making Musical.lys.
officially hit the App Store.
TikTok.
Now, early on, TikTok was mostly just the same creators who came over from Musical.ly. So all of those cringy lip-sync videos and the reputation that came with them carried straight over.
Going through your parents' divorce is more fun than going through TikTok.
for a while there, TikTok as a whole was pretty cringy.
Yeah, I used to get made fun of.
But even with that reputation, Joe figured he'd try it anyway. He posted his first TikTok in December of 2019, and it got a few hundred likes, which is nothing crazy.
You see, I view being cringy nowadays as just being unafraid to try and be funny. Cringe is just the failure of attempt to being funny. Even then, though, sometimes there is like a good cringe where, you know, it is definitely something that would be seen as embarrassing, but it's still funny. You can still enjoy whatever's happening.
But it was enough to make him post another one, and he just kept going. Within a few months, he went from pointing at text on a screen to actually talking, ranting straight to the camera about whatever stupid thing pissed him off that day.
There's no looking left or right in the urinal at all times.
This is where Joe carved out his lane. He became the loud guy in the beanie who yelled out people who drink sparkling water or crash out over some DIY tutorial.
It's kind of crazy. I've not heard about this guy until today. Maybe I have, but I just don't remember.
By the time COVID hit, TikTok was becoming...
I can see, you know, to this day, loud still equals funny. Loud has been funny since like 2013, and it still is. It's like the reoccurring theme for comedy through all for the last decade and a half. Loud equals funny.
Suddenly, TikTokers...
Just look at your favorite YouTube poop. There are plenty of moments where it's just randomly loud, and that, for whatever reason, that just gets you.
We're performing at NBA halftime shows or hanging with the Kardashians. I mean, the D'Amelios were dropping a reality show on Hulu. It was the biggest app in the world, and Joe had gotten in early.
6 months after you started posting, if I'm not mistaken, you had over 1 million followers on TikTok.
2020 TikTok, you could literally post anything, and if it got any amount of views, half the people that saw it would follow you.
So now you've got a teenage guy, fresh out of high school, with millions of people watching his every move. But what do you think this does to a person?
It's not the same guys as like a Disney star, right? Because I was nowhere near that level. But it's just the idea of like, I was a teenager that's getting clout, and I think 99% of the time, that's bad.
And Joe was no exception.
Yeah, because it gets to your head, and you start doing a whole bunch of really dumb, risky things. Not even just like risky things occasionally. You're just doing risky things over and over and over again, just so that way you can retain like your current audience or get even more. Or you're investing money into things that you like, that you think other people will like, but then that audience doesn't buy it.
All of those views, all that attention that comes with internet fame, it went straight to his head.
I went from being a really insecure, it was like two polar opposites, right? And I had to find the medium. Like I used to be really insecure when I was in like middle school, early high school, to a point where like I started working out, I started doing this, and then it went like full flop to like narcissism. And so it was like an obsession with myself because of insecurity that then inflated my ego to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm awesome.
And you can...
Yeah, that sounds pretty normal. Yeah, me too. See
it in the content from that era, the captions, the attitude, the way that he carried himself.
So this is my proposal for any women out there that would like to participate in the holiday, but don't have anybody to assist them. I'm here.
This is the version of Joe that Joe doesn't like.
That person in that facade I had to do to create that character actually became me for a short period of time, and I hated it.
But as much as Joe hates this version of himself, he also kind of owes everything to him, because that ego is what gave him the confidence and drive to start making bigger swings in his career. And when you're building yourself from the ground up, those two things can be the difference between success and failure. You see, everyone wants to start their own thing until they realize how much work starting actually takes. Building your website, setting up payment.
Is Squarespace?
All the boring stuff. Most people don't quit because the idea was bad. They quit because the setup got in the way. That's where WAP comes in. WAP lets you launch your entire online business from one place. Communities, digital products, or even services, whatever it is that you're building. No more stitching together 5 different tools from 5 different places just to accept a payment. WAP has it all under one roof. And it's not like they built it once and said it's good enough. WAP's constantly rolling out new features based on what you actually need, like better analytics, new ways to engage your audience. This
is like the first time I've heard this. I'm like interested in the way this is just new.
Oh, they even have their own tax service. The platform keeps evolving right alongside your business. So if you've been sitting on an idea and the only thing stopping you is not knowing where to start,
you know, I should have realized this is sponsored by WAP. It's in the top right corner. It's the WAP is in the top right corner of the screen. Bro, it's even his microphone. How good is this sponsorship for you, man? Dude.
Jeez, just go. Today. But now back to Joe and the business he was just starting to build. It started with diversifying his audience, because unlike YouTube or Twitch, your follower count is kind of empty on TikTok. You can have 1 million followers on there and make no money, because the platform simply doesn't pay its creators anything worthwhile.
Yeah, also, you're posting at most like 2-minute videos a day. There's not much ad revenue. There's not much like ad revenue you can really put on there. I mean, I'm not even sure how TikTok ads work. Like, there's an ad for every, like, 3 or 4 TikTok videos that you scroll for, right? And then that's going to be split across, like, millions of people. Whereas with YouTube, you know, someone makes, like, an 8+ minute video, and they already have, like, slightly more ad revenue than anyone that doesn't. I don't know. It's just a fact, I guess.
I was probably making, like, what?
The fact is that longer videos can make more ad revenue, especially if someone's watching for the full duration. Whereas short videos, they don't really make much ad revenue because they're not retaining attention to the site for a long time. Also, yeah, TikTok, they just take, well, you know what, just corporations in general. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, They literally just take most of your money and say, Lamau, lol. You ain't getting any of this, even though you're the reason why our site is popular.
10K a year. I was making less than minimum wage.
So, in the summer of 2020, just before starting his freshman year of college, Joe announced his first ever Twitch stream.
I'm gonna start streaming video games on Twitch in a day or two.
He started moving viewers from TikTok to Twitch.
Let's go! He is a gaming streamer! I was right.
Where he'd stream games like Rocket League and Fall Guys.
Oh, I got it!
Then he'd take the best moments from those streams and post them to YouTube. By fall of that year, Joe was juggling multiple TikTok uploads a day, streaming on Twitch, making YouTube content, all while managing his classwork in college.
That sounds like hell, man. It's already hard enough working part-time, and bro's like streaming almost daily. Bro's making several TikToks a day. Bro is going to college. Dude, I struggle just going to work, coming home, and then making a single React Andy. Dude's on
What was the schedule
crap.
like in college? There's so much going on. How do you manage that?
It was a lot. Like, balancing streaming and college sucked. But it was so doable. And I hate when streamers say, oh, I really needed to drop out to pursue streaming. Like, get the out of here. I was growing and in college the entire time.
Thank you for 3 million followers.
4 million followers.
I mean, then again, though, he's a Flesh streamer. So Flesh streamer, they don't have to do, like, 30 minutes of, like, work before starting stream. It's literally just making sure webcam is okay, making sure that your game is okay, and then you're good. Where was with me? I have to open up Steam. I have to open up four. Actually, no, I have to open up four. Yeah, I have to open up 4 different programs. Make sure that one of the programs is connected to the other program. Actually, 2 different programs. I have to make sure that's connected to another program. Like I have to make sure that specifically. What was it called again? VC Face? A VBridge. I have to make sure that VBridger is connected to VTube Studio, and then also make sure that Twitch integrated throwing system is connected to VTube Studio. And I get hit by shit when people are supposed to be hitting me with shit. I also I use VTS Pog. Every time I open up the VTS Pog, I have to undo and redo the audio. I gotta, constantly make sure that's all connected. After that's happened, then I have to, like, turn on my iPhone, calibrate my iPhone, make sure that's all working. Then I'm gonna make a thumbnail because I want to go through the effort of making a thumbnail. Even, who knows? Did he make thumbnails? I don't know, but you kind of really have to make thumbnails nowadays. So I make a thumbnail. And then finally, I, like, turn on my computer. I make sure that's connected. I've 3 to 4 times the amount of work in comparison to a flesh tuber. So you know what? Him being able to just, I don't know, go home, make like a couple TikToks, especially if they're just him just reacting to like the first 10 videos he saw. Extremely easy.
By December, Joe had cleared 5 million followers on TikTok, and just a few months after his first stream, Joe
and his streaming. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Like, flesh streaming is really easy.
Nearly 1,000 average viewers on Twitch.
Like, I was so obsessed with performance.
Joe was constantly studying social media, trying to understand what made videos pop, what people responded to, and why certain videos failed. That confidence had turned into a full-blown obsession. But
I don't. I literally just do whatever I want. If people want to watch me, cool. I'm not gonna, like, be performative and try to adhere to other people to then get more people to watch me. I've done that for multiple years of my life, and they're miserable. Those are miserable years. I'm just doing whatever I want.
Because of it, Joe was
people want to come around for it, cool.
I'm trying to map out where the ego kind of starts to disappear versus, like, was there a low point, a moment where you're like, holy, I gotta change?
Yeah, I don't think there was like an aha, right? It wasn't like a light switch flip. It was more over the span of like a 6-month period where I was like, I'm kind of being a dickhead. Yeah. Coupled with a variety of things. So I don't know if you can include this in the video. That's up to you. I tripped on mushrooms for the first time. Like, and I hate when people talk about like that being a genuine changing factor in their life, because it's like, okay, cornball, like that's what made you, really have that light switch. But I think it was a part of it, like.
I mean, that's pretty normal for, I don't know, you just wanted to change something. It takes like a couple months for you to actually just want to follow through with it, do something about it. I feel like that's just the average person. But of course, though, it's a lot more entertaining, a lot more interesting, and a lot more unique if you say, oh yeah, just randomly one day, this thing happened. I was like, damn, things gotta change. But, you know, you probably have already been thinking about that before. And maybe that actually did happen, but I don't know, there's plenty of things where I just, over a course of time, I'm just like, you know what, this could be better. Like, I've redone my mic settings 4 or 5 times, because, like, I don't know, I'd have, like, mic settings for, like, 6 months and be like, it could be better, and then I'd wait, like, another 6 months and be like, yeah, it could be better, and then I'd wait another 6 months, I'm like, yeah, it could be better. Now, I don't know, I kind of think, at least for my current microphone, so long as this one doesn't break on me anytime soon, I'm satisfied with it. I don't think I'll be changing the mic settings. But that could, of course, change. I hope it doesn't change, but that could change. I could just, you know, suddenly be like, yeah, you know, I don't like the fact that, like, whenever I make a high-pitched noise like this, it peaks out, you can't really hear it. Even though I usually talk in a low-tone voice anyway, so you rarely ever hear me do that. Like, the only time my voice ever cuts out now is when I'm trying to sound like Don Quixote from Libby's Company. Even then, though, I try. I just do what I can with my voice so it doesn't peak out. What other things? Oh yeah, same thing with my like Stream Deck. Like Sunday, you know, I was just like, hey, you know what? I should add in PNGs for all the different models. All the different, like, position toggles, because I have, with my Stream Deck, I have all these different position toggles, and then I was like, yeah, so in case I'm ever confused, just so I remember which, like, one I'm actually on, I'm just gonna set the PNGs, so, yeah. These are all PNGs, so I can figure out what everything's gonna look like before I get over there, you dig?
It removed the...
That took, like, maybe an hour. Really wasn't that much work. I just didn't want to go through the effort.
The grooves of life that I have gotten into, and it made me reset to a point where I had to kind of look in myself. A lot of the people that I knew in philosophy classes as well were sharing ideas that, you know, I may have heard but not resonated or understood fully. It was so much like, wow, I'm gonna die one day. I should...
Yes. Everybody dies. Oh no. When does that happen? A long time, you know, usually for most people, like 50 years from now. Oh no.
Kind of treat people in a way that's like, this is our only life. And I accredit my viewers a lot, because in that time, parasocial relationships built a little bit, which is bad. But at the same time, there were people coming to me for the first time going, I want to kill myself.
You were chatting to your last streamer because you're ending it all. Whoa, 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 whoa.
If there was a moment of like lock.
Yeah, I think I would react the same way. I'd be like, what? Dude. Wait, for real? Don't do it, man. Don't do it, man. Yeah, I'll take it as a joke first, because I don't know. There's like cognitive dissonance, I guess, where you hear that. So you kind of like suddenly hear that as a streamer. You don't ever really expect to hear that. And then you just kind of think it's like a bit of a bit. But then, you know, if they actually divulge, if they go on, it's no longer really a bit, and then you take it serious.
It was that.
What happened? One of my subs just said he's gonna himself. Dude, do you need help?
Because I was going...
Base streamer, but also you should not be doing this to your streamer, man. Especially not while they're live.
Yeah, even though I'm 19...
I mean, this is exactly why there's a lot of people where they have extremely clear-cut boundaries, where they say, yeah, you never do this to me. Just like period, and they like ban you, they block you. Now, of course, though, it sounds like this guy was a sub, so it's very likely that he knew the chatter for a while, or he knew like that he subbed for a while, or he saw that he was sub for a while. So that's a little different. A little. A little, is it? Kinda. Again, it just goes back to, you know, you have like a brand new chatter, you've like known them for barely like a month or two, and then they start saying that, I would just ban them, because even if it's true, I don't know you in comparison to the guy that's like been in my chat for a while, subbed to me for like half a year, if at least. I have like some form of attachment in connection with them.
You know, there are people that actually look up to me in a way that's like, I need to be better.
Life is the best thing that will ever happen. No matter how bad it can get, life is amazing.
Now put yourself in that chair for a second. You're 19 years old. You started streaming to play video games, to have fun and make people laugh, and somebody you've never met just told you they're planning their own death. And out of everyone in their life, they picked you to tell.
I feel like no one cares and I want to end it all. I have a date planned, so you'll probably never see me again. I want to say you make me laugh a lot. I'm going to kick myself October 2nd and no one will remember me.
And this kept happening. Joe would go live.
Bro. Why would you do that? Now you just like now you've like put me in this state of mind now where I gotta constantly like where I'm gonna be thinking about you, and I'm gonna be thinking about ways to like make you not want to do it. That's just so terrible.
And sooner or later, somebody would show up in a genuine crisis, typing their darkest thoughts into a Twitch chat.
Don't want to be a mood killer. I just want to say my family basically bullies me every day and I can't get them to stop. I've been thinking about suicide a lot.
When Joe first started getting these messages from chatters, his initial response was the same as anyone with the heart.
Now, what I would do in that scenario, I would quite literally tell the chatter that, it may be hard, but quite literally, the best thing to do is you can just get up and leave and never come back. Especially if you're an adult. If you're 18 plus, you can quite literally leave your house in the middle of the night, never come back. And even if what's it called? There's like a missing persons report filed for you. You can literally just call the police and be like, "Hi, yes, I'm this person. I'm not lost. I left. I don't have the money to like file restraining orders against these people that I don't want to be in contact with anymore."
Would be. He wanted to help, both on stream and off of it. Joe took the time to talk with those viewers, getting to know them on a personal level and giving them real advice just like he would with a friend.
You guys mean the world to me.
I mean, for like all the shit I am talking, I mean, or saying how it's not really shit talking, more like just saying, you should not do this as a chatter. I think I would like to believe I would do the exact same thing as this guy though. Like, obviously, still, don't do it. Actually talk to a professional, someone that is more than able to handle it. I'm just playing video games, man. I'm kind of able to handle it, but if I'm having like 10 people doing it, what's the difference between me and a therapist now?
If you need help with something like that, I can try my best. So that's why I'm kind of chilling or pausing the stream for the last like 15 minutes to talk about this, because that's important.
But there's a harsh reality that all streamers have to learn eventually. Your viewers aren't your friends. They can't be.
I have had probably...
That's a fucking lie. There's like an extent. I think the average viewer will never be your friend. And your average viewer is going to be, parasocial. Well, yeah, not the average viewer, but there's going to be like some people that are parasocial who they believe you're friends with. But at the same time, though, you've never talked them to VC. Y'all have never connected over like any similar hobbies whatsoever. You don't even know anything about like each other's private life. But there are plenty of people that I would call friends that I have met. I don't know if I would say they're chatters or not. Were they chatters? I mean, at one point they were chatters, but then I found out they were streamers, and then we just kind of like became homies from that point on. Like, there are situations where you can be friends with your chatters, but 99.9% of them you're not gonna be friends with. So I mean, technically, well, actually no, 99.9, more like 90, more like 98. 98% of the chatters that you come into contact with, you will never be friends. They're just gonna be people that come into your stream and you know them by name because they come around a lot.
20 people come to me about themselves, like on live. The first 2 times it's happened, I have tried to like help them, and then it just ended badly in terms of them getting parasocial towards me and then not.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's that's a bit of an issue too. Bro had what happened to me happen to him, and I'm on a extremely smaller scale than him. And unfortunately, I should have booted out that person long ago because I was just being a coward, I guess. Was I being a coward? No, I was just naive. I was just stupid. I didn't really know what to do. Now I know what to do. Now I tell other people what to do. But no, that person like killed vibes for like half a year. Anytime they were around, because there was nothing but depression talk, how life lay sad.
Stop coming to me.
You see, the relationship...
And then it would just constantly come back and then tell me more about that, and I would try and cheer him up. While also just trying to have fun while streaming. And then because of them, I really wasn't able to stream for like more than 3 hours a day, because after like 3 hours, I'd be completely drained. Whereas now I could like stream for 12 hours and dude, I'll still, well, no, after like 12 hours, I'll kind of be dead at that point. But I can like go 5 hours easily, and then I just have to go away for a food break. Then I come back and I'm ready to roll more.
Between a streamer and a viewer is way more complicated than a normal friendship. When you spend hours watching someone through a screen, day after day, your brain starts doing something weird. You pick up their sense of humor. You learn their opinions, their moods, what makes them laugh, and what sets them off. You come to
Yeah, that's normal. But the chatter, I don't know what the chatter's opinions are. I don't know what they think. I don't know what they do in their daily life. I don't know what kind of hobbies they're into. I don't know why that they're into those hobbies. I don't know why they like the certain shows that I like. They just say they do.
Know them the way you'd know a friend, except they have no idea you even exist.
Well, that's a lie. I mean, behind every single like username is a person, unless you believe in dead internet theory. But those bots cost a lot of money to have on your streams.
This is what's called a parasocial relationship, and it can be.
I mean, that's like the textbook definition, but they are not this obvious. Most of the time, they're not this obvious. They don't act like this way. A lot of times, more than anything, they just are constantly always around you and then constantly asking you for advice. The parasocial relationships I've had, there's only like one out of like maybe the 6 I've had where somebody was genuinely like DMing me over and over again, asking if I was like seeing their messages or nay.
A dangerous thing.
Now, a scary home invasion as 3 masked intruders with guns grab a popular influencer by the hair, demanding money.
3 guys came into my room, turned all the lights on, and then they had the gun pointed at me.
While most parasocial relationships don't reach this level, there's always a possibility that it can.
3 popular Twitch.
Wait, what is bro saying? That was a parasocial relationship?
What's called a parasocial relationship, and it can be a dangerous thing.
Now, a scary home invasion as 3 masked intruders with guns grab a popular influencer by the hair, demanding money.
3 guys came into my room.
How have I not heard of this?
Turned all the lights on, and then they had the gun pointed at me.
Dude, why are you showing us this? This is like clip unrelated.
While most parasocial relationships don't reach this level,
have any proof that they like knew that she knew they were chatters or something?
There's always a possibility that it can.
3 popular Twitch streamers face a terrifying encounter while live streaming along the Santa Monica Pier.
Kill you right now.
Oh, it's this guy. I remember this guy. No, this guy. I think this guy's just a freak in general. It's not even a parasocial relationship. I think he's done this to like multiple. Well, maybe. Technically, it still could be true. 2 things could be true at once. I think this guy could just be. This guy is just a weirdo, and I believe he's done this to like a few other streamers, or he harassed them to try and get to hook up with them. And it could also be true that he genuinely like enjoyed their content, and then he believed that he was more friendly with them. But as far as I remember, this guy was just a freak, and he just wanted to get in some streamers' pants.
If a streamer leans too far one way, they might come across as uninterested or cold, but lean too far the other, and viewers can mistake an occasional reply for friendship.
Please stop following me. It's getting weird. It's getting strange. I don't know you, okay? So please leave me alone.
That's where things can take a turn for the worst, because now that attention can turn into expectation. And when the expectation of a response to the next chat isn't met, it can feel less like being ignored by a streamer and more like a betrayal by someone that they thought they knew.
It's a weird parasocial relationship that forms, and you're not even aware that this person is forming that typically.
I don't know if Amaranth is the right person to be saying this.
Until they're like about to show up, or they do show up.
The gap is hard to manage, which is why most streamers keep a barrier up around the heavy personal stuff.
My sis is dead.
Let's try and keep it positive.
Please don't talk about suicide in my chat, please. This is something I just don't like to hear or talk about, you know?
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with these guys doing that. Like they're just there to, you know, do what they're doing. If you want to hang out with them, cool. But if you're gonna start talking about like shit that would ruin the vibe, yeah, it's also fair that they don't want that, and again, that you get banned for that.
And you can't really blame them. At the end of the day, streamers are supposed to entertain. At some point, there has to be a boundary between caring.
I've been saying that this entire time, but it only took him 13 minutes to say it himself.
About the people watching and becoming responsible for everything that they bring into the chat.
They become too attached to you, where they see you as an actual friend that they have. So I feel like that is kind of a boundary that you have to set as a streamer, but it's hard to gauge where that line is.
Joe had every reason to draw that same boundary.
It's also a thing too, it's also just like a weird thing too, for like people that have helped you out a lot, and then they're just like, "Hey, are you my friend?" How do you answer that? Especially if you don't really feel it that way, it's just kind of like you're more like acquaintances. I don't know. I think most of the time I just say, "Yeah, I think we're on friendly terms." I never say that we're friends unless I actually feel that way, which I usually don't. We're just on friendly terms, man.
He answered the heavy messages, taking conversations off stream, and learned what could happen when things become too parasocial.
The first 2 times I helped somebody with like issues, they just kept messaging me, and then they like got upset when I stopped messaging them. So it's more so of that issue.
But mental health.
Yeah. That's, you know, that sucks.
Meant too much to him. Ignoring somebody who might not make it through the night was never a choice he could live with. After those.
But that's also completely fair too. Like, that sucks that happened, but at the same time though, I think I would be in the same-ish situation where I would want to try and help the person. Until, of course, I realized, or I saw, came to the realization, however much time it took, you know, even if it took like a month to finally realize that, you know, whatever I'm doing, it's not really helping them. They need to help themselves, and they're choosing not to help themselves. And they're just hoping that I, like, give them some sort of spider's, like, web out. That's not how it works.
Early mistakes, Joe implemented 2 important factors that would
no, not spider's web, spider's thread.
Eliminate those odd parasocial dynamics from coming into the picture. For starters, he removed any one-on-one interaction. All conversations with chatters were strictly held on stream from the Twitch chat.
I've prepared to go, tired of waiting for things to improve.
All right, hold on, let me go
All
back.
Conversations with chatters were strict dynamics from.
Thank you, Joe. You saved my life. You saved my life. All right, let's see here. I love you, bro. You're the only thing that make me had me. Yeah. This is pretty weird, man. I mean, it's like, if it's one thing if they say it like during one stream, if they constantly come back, if they come back like 2 or 3 more times, talk about how they might, you know, end it all. I would choose to ban you after like the 2nd or 3rd time, man, because again, I can't be the one to help you. You have to help yourself.
Into the picture. For starters, he removed any one-on-one interaction. All conversations with chatters were strict.
I might be able to help you a little, but, you know, at the end of the day, the real change begins with you.
Held on stream from the Twitch chat.
I've prepared to go, tired of waiting for things to improve. You were my escape. Thank you, dude. If you're saying you're gonna kill yourself, don't. I know this was 10 minutes ago. I hope you're still here.
And second, but most importantly, he made the pivot from trying to be the help himself and became the middleman.
Fine if you're depressed and you want to come to me for advice, but when it comes to the gravity of seeking an expert is better than seeking Joe Bartolozzi, a Twitch streamer, TikToker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're actually equipped to, like, you know, help you come up with, like, solutions to your problems or help you realize the problems that exist and how to solve them.
And for those who came into the chat looking for help, Joe was there to give them a few encouraging words and push them in the right direction.
I've had not so good thoughts, if you know what I mean, and listening to your advice and others has helped me even during those hard times. If you ever have thoughts, reach out to somebody, genuinely. Go to a therapist, psychiatrist, talk to somebody that can help you.
Yeah.
Not the answer. Like, there's only so much I'm able to do as a creator, especially seeing that I don't know the person. So that's why I try to do the charity streams for, like, you know, 988 or AFSP or Trevor Project. We're doing reactions today, and it's a charity stream. We raised $2,700, which was matched 3x by the Melinda Bill Gates Foundation. So dub in the chat for that. Goes to a good cause, saving lives.
And for a while, this worked pretty well. While it seemed kind of small, Joe's brief but encouraging words were actually making a difference in people's lives.
I've been subbed for a year now, and I want to say thank you for helping me through this past year with having to deal with my grandpa's suicide and my own personal problems. You're definitely my favorite top streamer, and I hope you never stop.
You see, that's fine. That's wholesome, and that's normal.
But by the time Joe graduated college, things had started to change. His viewer count climbed to some of the highest in all of streaming, and managing the...
Well, of course, because now he's no longer, like, having his mind about college and the homework with college and you know, the what it takes to graduate. So, yeah, of course, he's more focused on streaming. He's going to be more enjoyable. I mean, that's usually how it goes with, like, anybody where, you know, they quit their job and then they have their viewer count skyrocket because, 1, they're streaming more, 2, they have all their energy invested on a content creation. It just makes sense. If you have your energy diverted across several things, yeah, of course, you know, that's you're not going to be, you're at peak. You're not going to be hitting your peak performance, and people are going to notice it. But people see you, like, people enjoy you at your peak performance. I'm retarded. I actually don't know where I was going to go with that. I do, but I don't. Basically, you're dividing, conquering, diverting your attention, less energy, focus on streaming. With streaming, the only thing you're doing, obviously, you're going to be doing way better at it. You're going to be doing amazing at it, and you're going to get more people that are more receptive and interested in watching it.
Expectation of that many chatters is a totally different beast.
Like right now, I average 10K. Chat's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I got to lock in. I want to get into the videos. I'm starting to get stressed the f*** out. I'm starting to get stressed the f*** out. I could tell this was going to happen at the start of stream when I got like 9 messages just unloaded onto me.
With this many viewers watching, Joe found himself caught between 2 groups that wanted completely different things from him. Because on one hand, some viewers felt that he wasn't doing enough to help.
I guess even my favorite streamer...
That's not his job! If he motivates you to get out of bed, cool, but like it's not his job to motivate you to get out of bed.
Doesn't care about me. Lame comment. I have 5,000 people in my stream that are spamming right now. I'm also playing a video game, and then I don't respond to you, and you pull this guilt trip here.
But on the other hand, there was a total...
Yeah, if someone said that to me, I would ban you. I'd also be pissed off just like him. I might even publicly call you out just like him, and then I would ban
different
you.
Group of viewers that were tired of the stream constantly stopping.
Jesus, dude, I like watching your streams, but when you go on rants like this, that's all you do all the time. That's annoying. Play the game. Do me a favor and never watch me again. Do me...
Fair. Based Joe.
Yourself.
No matter what Joe did, someone felt ignored, and the messages were starting to get more demanding. Early on, people would briefly mention that they were struggling, and Joe would offer a few words of encouragement.
That's why you gotta just ban all the bad apples. As soon as you can. As fast as you can, especially when they reveal themselves.
Now they wanted more.
Like every stream, it's been getting more and...
Like... It is a little corny when like when like a streamer only constantly bans people and only has people positive about them. But at the same time though, that just means the vibes are always gonna be good and like the energy is always gonna be high. Also, if you like, there's nothing wrong with like having criticism or, asking for something for a stream, but being a dick about it is most likely going to make it never happen.
More and more and more like involved where people are genuinely asking me to fix their problems. I can't.
See, I was going to like bring up the example of like a Tectone stream or Satan Tonta stream, but I've never watched them. But in the VODs that they upload though, I mean, chat is usually like pretty positive and how do you put it? Positive? Positive? They usually have like a similar opinion to the streamer, and those that typically don't have a similar opinion to the streamer, they I don't know, it's not like it's literally just like I disagree, here's why I disagree, and then yeah, and then the streamer comes back, okay, you disagree, here's why I disagree with you. Disagree. And then they list their facts.
But the hardest part was figuring out who genuinely needed help and who was only looking for attention.
How do you balance keeping everybody happy and then also sorting through people who are just doing it for attention?
I mean, that's the struggle. Because I'm a suicide prevention advocate, that is an avenue that a lot of people use to manipulate their way into being noticed or speaking to me on stream. And so, yeah, if there's 10 chats saying they're suicidal, 6 of them are fake. Because I do so much mental health advocacy, the amount of people that come into my chat and fake being suicidal is absurd. I had one chatter that came in and they say, hey, I'm the mother of so-and-so. He took his own life. I just wanted to let you know you were his favorite streamer. I'm sorry that he took his life. I don't really know what to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and there's also definitely the argument that this constantly happens to him because he's constantly reacting to any note that is about game ending yourself, which sucks because bro is just trying to be helpful and help other people, and then people are taking advantage of that because they just want to be noticed.
I hope you're all right. I'm sorry for the loss of your son.
When they have no intention or don't even feel like that whatsoever.
Ugh. Come to find out, they come back a month later and they're like, my brother typed that, banned his, blocked him. You're the chatter? I knew that, bro. I'm banning you, man. That's fucking weird as shit.
This leaves Joe stuck making a decision that's difficult to get right.
If I'm being honest, I think a large portion of people that come into my chat and say stuff that's idle are lying. But I have to treat them all as if they're real, because then I could, on an off chance, not take somebody seriously that is serious. And that's the worst thing you could do.
Ignoring the wrong message could have serious consequences, but responding to every message was impossible, and pressure of trying was beginning to wear him down.
I feel bad, and I've talked about this. It's like, I wish I could help, but like sometimes I can't, you know? Like there's only so much I'm able to do as a creator, especially seeing that I don't know the person.
But there's one message that weighs on Joe the most. It's one that he's heard over and over again, that for some viewers, he's the only reason that they're still alive.
I can't help but think that's kind of like me when it comes to like the Chainsaw Man anime, or Jujutsu Kaisen, or even what else? JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen, Ray Zero, dude. If I can live, I want to live long enough to see Ray Zero completely animated and see how it ends. I think there's nothing more beautiful than having a piece of media so good that it makes you want to live long enough to see it fully finished. I find that to be very adhering? No, adhering's not the right word. Persevering? No. I don't know. Beautiful is just like the perfect word for it. There's nothing more beautiful than living life to then enjoy other things that you find beautiful. And in my case, that is animation, hearing like the voice actors put they're all into voice acting, just seeing all these beautifully animated scenes, or even playing games where I wouldn't say that they like changed my life, but I do feel like I learned something after playing them, or the fact that I played and I enjoy them through and through is more than enough that gets me through every day. Like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers the Sky, dude. I don't know about that game saving my life, but dude, that game is definitely like a game to live for. A game that is worth living long enough to play from start to finish, including the post story, or I guess what would you call it? What like I always find that really confusing. A little aside, like you have like the story in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but then you also have like the post story, but like the post story is more kind of like, I don't know, it's more like another book than it is like a post story, because like, I don't know, whenever I hear a post story, I think I'm thinking of like an epilogue. But in Explorers the Sky, the quote-unquote epilogue, there's like a shit ton of more story after it. Like, again, basically a whole like new section of a story.
You were there when my dad passed. You saved me.
And then I don't know why, but that kind of reminded me to the idea that in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, there's a whole theory that Darkrai is actually like you, the main character, but Darkrai, but you know, he like went to the past, but then he also transformed to another Pokemon, and you are Darkrai. But that's a like a, I don't know, a goofy like time loop theory. I think it's interesting, though.
From ending my own life more than anyone.
I hope one day that game gets remastered. I kind of hope for it, but at the same time, though, I'm just worried that like Nintendo would change a whole bunch of shit. On top of the fact I would have to buy a Nintendo Swiss just to play the game, because I don't have a Nintendo Swiss for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Like if they were to remaster it, if they did, though, I think I would be more than interested. I already have like thoughts of replaying the game.
I should.
I tried before, but then I played a little bit. I played a bit too much off stream, and I could burn myself out from playing it on stream.
I've realized so much because
and that was like 2 years ago. I think I'm ready to play it again, though.
My life has gotten about a lot better since watching you from your philosophy stuff. Never had a favorite streamer until I watched your streams, and it kind of saved my life, no pressure. I wanted to myself, you saved my life. I did not save your life, you saved your own life. Please get the help you need, though. If I'm the only reason that you stopped, wanting to kill yourself in that moment, you need a lot of help outside of just watching my content.
When you hear some of those stories, how big of a toll does that take on you? Because, like, I know, I'm watching through some of their clips, talking to people like this, a lot of the chat is asking, who is checking on Joe?
I mean, I'm starting therapy soon. I'm not saying it's bad to have my...
Damn. You know what? That's fair, though, because you are constantly having to deal with, like, a whole bunch of other people's problems, and you have no idea how to deal with, like, how to talk to other people about their problems. I'm sure the therapist, though, will probably tell him that, like, he doesn't need to solve these other people's problems. It's up to them to solve them. Or even if he really chooses to help them, like, they would give him some ideas on how to help them a bit better, or at least get them to the goalpost of actually seeking someone else who is equipped and paid for to do that.
Videos as like something to fall back on to make you feel happier versus like, I'm suicidal, your videos are the only thing that's keeping me alive.
Take a second and think about what that actually means for the person receiving it. Somebody just told you that your uploads are load-bearing for their existence.
Don't tell me that. Like, I I'm glad I'm able to help, man, but like, get help. Like, get help.
I don't know. I guess I would view that differently. I mean, I think that'd make me happy, but in the same, well, you know what? I think I would have the same reaction. It'd make me happy, but then I would also be like, yeah, man, if I'm the only reason that you have to live, you gotta talk to some people other than me, because I should not be the only reason you live.
Please.
So what happens if you take a break? What happens if you burn out and quit? On some level, Joe now feels like he has to keep posting, because somewhere out there...
And that sucks. Bro feels like he can't take a break, because now he has a bunch of people constantly telling him that if he does, or if it seems like he like stops uploading, now it feels like he's killed somebody. All thanks to a bunch of people that are disrespecting boundaries, or again, saying something to a guy on stream when all he's equipped for is playing games and trying to have fun with other people hanging around.
Hanging on by his streaming schedule.
There will be people that will like come to my chat and they're like, hey, you prevented me from killing myself because I saw one of your videos and it made me laugh. On surface level, that's great. If you're me, now I'm going, oh, if I stop posting, people are gonna start killing themselves.
And beyond...
Yeah, I don't think I would feel that way. Well, then again, no, I'm not him, though.
The pressure, there's the sheer
I don't think I would feel that way, though.
to darkness.
Who's to know? Things could change if I ever was in the exact same position. If I swap positions with them, who knows? Maybe I would have the same idea.
Joe's DMs and chat are a constant stream of people's lowest moments. And when you're surrounded by that much pain for that long, it eventually starts to get in.
That's like the one thing is the emotional drain, I guess. Like I put a lot out.
After every stream, Joe sits there for an hour just coming back down from what the job took out of him.
Like when I'm done stream, I get off, I literally sit there in like silence for maybe an hour. I need like time to decompress just because that is a lot at times. It takes a toll and I've gotten used to it, but
That's sad. Bro's living the life of like the Industrial Revolution worker for an hour.
It kind of builds. Like I'll be good for a month and then they're...
I heard it recently too, but it's like the same thing, but it's like what he said. It's like decompressing. It's like when, you have your father come home from work or your father on his day off and all he does is that he just like sits and stares at like the wall, the ceiling, or even at a blank TV because bro was just trying to recollect himself for the next day to then actually do something productive.
It'll be a week where I'm just like...
That's sad.
Not there emotionally, I guess. And that's like a problem.
So the obvious question is, why keep doing it? Every other streamer proved you can just let the messages scroll and the career survives. Joe could put up the full wall tomorrow and nobody could really blame him.
I'm not sitting here acting like I'm some role model, but if people are going through stuff and I recognize that they're watching my content...
Anybody that's like popular enough... Anybody that is making content, you should make content under the idea that you are trying to better the world. I think so. Like streaming, well, it's one thing if you just want to stream and you just want to have a good time, but if you are like, like it's okay if you're interested in it just for the bag, but at the same time though, once you become, I think there's a certain point. Once you become big enough, it doesn't matter what your initial intention is. Now you kind of have to you have to become a role model. Like you have to promote stuff that you think would better the world. Otherwise, if you're just kind of like doing stuff and you don't really care about how other people will receive it or the repercussions of your actions, then you're a shitty person. I can't tell you what the specific threshold is for when somebody actually becomes a role model or what number that they would become one or be perceived as one. But there is a point where, again, like even if you were just in it for a bag, you're just there to like chill and have good times, you should still be promoting like, things that are good, like, I don't know, not stealing, not hurting other people physically or emotionally. It is really not that hard.
To help them, that I want them to have some sort of guidance of redirection.
Not, not being an ass verbally.
To be better themselves and also better their own mental health in a way that's good for them.
Joe did the math and decided helping people is worth what it costs him.
I enjoy making people happy more than the other aspects of the job. And that's what enables me to deal with the too. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, push through the negative because you make money. I think I push through the negative because I can affect people more positively here than any other job that I could possibly be doing.
But once he saw what his platform could do for people at their lowest, walking away from that stopped being an option he could live with.
Thank you. My mom was diagnosed with cancer about 9 months ago.
Sorry to
we
hear
would
that.
watch your videos and streams. We loved your philosophy streams. She also majored in philosophy.
Really?
A week ago I found out she has
two more days to live. One of the final things we did was watch one of your YouTube videos. Your videos remind me of good memories. She passed away yesterday and you helped me cope. Just wanted to say thank you so much.
That's wholesome.
You help more than you'll ever know. Oh my god. Yo, that's just gonna make me cry.
That's wholesome, though. I think I would cry, though. I would cry for like just the amount of wholesomeness that is.
It's a fucking weird job, dude. It's a weird job doing social media. There's a lot of shit, but it's one of the most like rewarding experiences. Just to be able to be someone to help other people is something that I want to do. Yeah, the money.
Yeah, fair. Me too. Completely. Oh, all right. Well, I think that was a pretty good video. I liked, I enjoyed Golf Cart showing me and tell me about this guy and, what he's been going through. Help me reflect and kind of think about how I should handle these kind of similar situations and what I want to do. So yeah, the link in the description. Go subscribe to Golf Cart. That was good. Obviously like and tell them that you liked it too. Tell me your thoughts in the description in the comments. Be sure to like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you want more React anti-slop. But on that note, I'm gonna see you, Vamp Cows, the next time Vermire feast upon the next victim.